Hi, I'm Matthew Machuga, and this Tuts Plus Premium course will be covering object-oriented design in PHP. If you haven't heard the term object-oriented design before, you've more than likely heard of object-oriented programming. They both refer to roughly the same concept, but OOP is more focused on the application and paradigm, where OOD refers to the design of software and the way that objects interact to form the application. That's of course a high-level overview, but understanding the differences between the terms is not our primary concern. I'd much rather show you OOD techniques, concepts, and usages. Some recommended reading to augment this series include Growing Object-Oriented Software Guided by Tests by Steve Freeman and Nat Price, and Practical Object-Oriented Design in Ruby by Sandy Metz. Neither of these books use PHP as their example language, but the concepts carry across languages really well. Throughout this series, we'll be covering one concept per episode on how to use some OOD techniques to help organize your code and keep it manageable and loosely coupled. Each topic will be a way to not only potentially improve the code quality of a product, but also increase its testability. While not necessarily true, I feel as the course progresses, the episodes reach a higher level of concept with more theory and presentation of pros and cons rather than the application shown at the beginning, but they are more important for a developer to know as they progress through their stages of learning. So now that you have a rough idea of what I intend to present and for what reasons, let's go over the set of tools I plan on using for this series. First, I'll be using iTerm2 as my terminal emulator, and ZSH as my shell, along with Vim as my editor. My dot files are available on my GitHub profile under machuga/dotfiles if you'd like your shell or Vim to look like mine or if you want to pick out any ideas for your own. I'll be using PHP 5.5, though PHP 5.4 will work equally well. I'm using the short array syntax and possibly some other syntax shortcuts in 5.4, but I won't be using any new features from 5.5, so you'll be fine as long as you have 5.4 or higher. For OS X, you can install PHP 5.4 or 5.5 via Homebrew, or you could use MAMP. Newest Ubuntu and most Linux distributions will likely have 5.4 or 5.5 set as their current default version, or it'll be available in a PPA or backport repository. For Windows, you can use XAMPP or WAMP, but I generally hear of users having better luck with XAMPP on Windows. We'll be avoiding browser usage for the entirety of the project. We'll just be using PHP in command line mode. In the CLI, we'll be using PHPUnit some. I'm currently on the 3.7 branch. You can install PHPUnit globally with Composer by following the directions on its site. In general, I'll be following the PSR coding standards, but when I need to conserve space, I may pull a function and definitions into a single line if they're a single expression. Next episode, we're going to get our first lesson on how to break down our code into reusable chunks by first learning how to isolate global state. We'll focus on abstraction, encapsulation, and why global state is difficult for system management and testing. Hope you enjoy the series.